Hello, everybody. I wanted to go over test one. Congratulations on successfully completing test one. But I figured it would be helpful if you knew kind of what the answers were. So again, keep in mind we have let's see, there are 55 questions, and most everybody, did. I'm going to congratulate everybody for doing very well. So let's go down here and look at all these. Okay. A social problem, this had carried a little more weight, is defined as a condition that it harms not everybody, but all members of a society. It's usually controversial. It's some or all members. Okay. Okay, so we save that. Okay. C. Wright Mills explained that by using sociological perspective, people transform personal troubles into social issues. The social constructionist approach asserts that problems arise as people define conditions as undesirable and in need of change. In evaluating any social policy, question 4, it is important to remember that policy, okay, let's see here. There is more than one way to measure a policy's level of success. Question 5. The method used by social researchers in which subjects respond to items on a questionnaire is the survey research method. The method whereby people are observed in their everyday activities is the field research method. Question 6. Question 7, if a researcher is using data from the Census Bureau, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, or the Justice Department, and we often use this sort of data, it is secondary data collected by other organizations. Question 8, a blank is an explanation of how and why specific facts are related. That's going to be a theory. If a researcher wanted to observe up close the lived experiences of drug dealers in a core urban neighborhood, she would, and again, parenthetically, this is to measure the application of these concepts. It's to gain the confidence of interview and possibly spend time with drug dealers in a natural field setting. Okay. In fact, people have actually done this. Compared to questionnaires, this is question 10. Interviews offer a researcher a chance to gain greater, that is, depth of understanding. Okay. Question 11, we're moving into some of the data from the chapters. The richest 20% of U.S. families earn, and the answer is almost as much as the remaining 80% of families combined. Question 12, social stratification is defined as a society's system of ranking categories of people in a hierarchy. Question 13 is another application question. Marco earns $45,000 a year. He receives interest from several certificates of deposit. The money that comes from these sources each year represents his income. And this is to allow you to demonstrate your understanding of wealth and income. Okay. Since about 1980, income inequality among U.S. families has been increasing. In fact, it's increased dramatically. Question 15. If you wanted to add up the total economic assets owned by a person or family, you would be measuring wealth. Okay, what concept is used by the U.S. government specifically for the purpose of counting the poor, and that is the poverty line. Most people in the United States who live below the poverty line are white. Okay. Which term refers, question 18, to the trend by which women represent an increasing share of the United States poor? And that's the feminization of poverty. Question 19, Sylvia earns $7.25 per hour, and the minimum wage is in much of the country in 2014, that is. She works full-time year-round and earns about $15,000 annually. This profile places her within which group? And that would be the working poor. The Williams family lives in an inner-city community that is poor, cut off from the larger society, and without good schools or good-paying jobs. The family is experiencing what sociologists call hyper-segregation. Which of the following concepts refers, question 21, to a socially constructed category of people who share biologically transmitted traits that a society defines as important? And that is race. Which of the following concepts refers to a shared cultural heritage? That's ethnicity. In 2012, for the first time, most children born in the United States were minorities. Which of the following terms refers to the systematic killing of one category of people by another? That is genocide. Question 25. Which of the following terms refers to the physical and social segregation, or separation of categories of people? Well, sorry about that. I gave the answer away. It's segregation. Question 26. Following the abolition of slavery, this country enacted so-called Jim Crow laws, which segregated trains, restaurants, hotels, and other public places. Question 27. According to the government, which of the following is the country's largest racial or ethnic minority? That's Hispanics. Question 28. Many Arab Americans choose to downplay their ethnicity as a strategy to avoid prejudice and discrimination. Racism at work in the operation of the economy, schools, hospitals, the military, and the criminal justice system is known as institutional racism. A landlord refuses to rent an apartment to an African American based on race, even though there are vacancies. This action is an example of discrimination. Question 31. Which term refers to the personal traits and life chances that a society links to being female or male? Personal traits, life chances. This is gender. Which term refers to the biological distinction between females and males? And that is sex. Question 33. A society's unequal distribution of wealth, power, and privilege between men and women is called C. Gender stratification. Which term refers, question 34, to a social pattern in which males dominate females? This would be patriarchy. Question 35. If you were to view television advertising in the United States, you would not expect to see women who are taller than men. The major reason, question 36, that men earn more than women on average is that men and women typically hold different types of jobs. Question 37, a dimension of gender stratification, which victimizes millions of women each year, is physical violence against a woman. 38, Marta's boss tells off-color jokes and tolerates sexually based teasing by males employees and women's employees. When she complains, he tells her to lighten up, they're just joking. This is an example of a hostile work environment. Question 39, which sociological theory of gender inequality looks at gender from a macro level and identifies gender as a source of problem? And that would be social conflict theory. Question 40, minority women earn less than white women, and they also earn less than minority men. This pattern is the focus of intersectionality or intersection theory. Question 41, which term refers to the socially constructed stages people pass through as they live out their lives? That would be D, the life course. Question 42, sociologists argue that stages of life are socially constructed. Question 43, in comparison with the word elder, commonly used in pre-industrial societies, the modern term elderly has a more negative meaning. Question 44, which of the following terms refers to the average lifespan of a country's population? That would be life expectancy. Question 45, the most common source of support and companionship for elderly people is family members. Question 46, portraying elderly people as a whole as senile, rigid, or old-fashioned is an example of ageism. Question 47, the average age of the U.S. workforce is increasing. Question 48, which of the following concepts refers to sexual inequality among various age categories? That would be age stratification. In 2012, question 49, about what percentage of people over the age of 65 in the United States were living below the official poverty line? It's 9%. Question 50, the government-sponsored programs that pay for hospital care and 80% of other medical costs are called Medicare. Question 51, in evaluating any social policy, it is important to remember that there is more than one way to measure a policy's level of success. Question 52, this is secondary data. Question 53, interviews offer a depth of understanding. And question 54, the largest are Hispanic Americans. And question 55, minority women earn less than white women. That's intersectionality. I'm going to click save here. And that, folks, is the answer key. For those of you who are interested in, kind of a quick overview of the test, here we go. Please email me if you have any questions, and I'm going to be going in here soon and grading your discussions. But congratulations overall on a successful test 1.